Hello and welcome to India Today. I am Sanjay Ponappa.
And this is Maruti Acharya, and we just completed watching the Reloaded, Pushpa 2 Reloaded.
It was good.
It was not a cash grab for sure.
This made the film more wholesome.
Duration of the original version, which was close to 3 hour 30 minutes.
Yeah, 3
now,
hour 23, 24, something
yeah,
like that.
close to that. So now they have added 20 minutes. See, I know we are late to the party. A lot of people have watched it. If you watched it, mention your opinions in the comments below. But we were excited to see. In fact, despite of watching 3.5 hours of that movie, we actually felt that there are a lot of things that they didn't explore. So we were very curious to see did they do it well or not. Which
Does
version
the
we
20
like.
minutes make a difference was the big question.
Yes.
Is it necessary? Why are they doing it was also another question that was in my mind. We only saw some snippets here and there. We tried to actively avoid bumping into spoilers because it's all over the net, all over X.
Firstly, before getting into the detailed analysis, first thing, thank you so much for all the love and support that you've been showing on our coverage with Pushpa, Game Changer, all the recent Sankranti releases. Full love for the interaction, chat, comment section after watching our review. You're putting your opinions also. Please do continue to do that. And second thing is, for the people who watched our review of the original draft of Pushpa 2, we didn't like it that much. We were not completely happy. And the reason is there are a lot of good ideas and points. But director, because it is Sukumar, who chose mostly the commercial route rather than telling the story, especially in comparison to what it was in first part. It was drama story filled with action pieces and masala pieces, but two felt like more towards the masala and entertaining people, not the story. Now, after watching this 20 minutes, my initial thoughts were lot of scenes from first half, the masala parts, if they removed it and added the actual story part that they had in the 20-minute cut, it would have been brilliant, and maybe my experience of whole Pushpa 2 would have changed.
Even from this cut, it's not like the story is any different. So it does feel like, okay, some parts are good, some parts are bad, some parts are just, created for the sake of it. All of that is there. Same expression, you can just watch the first video. The link will be in the description. Just check it out. But from this, what I felt is there was so much screen time given to all the other characters.
Correct.
I feel like at the edit table, the call was taken to make it a out and out Allu Arjun ride, and that somehow held the film back, held all the potential of the film back, because in this 20 minutes, it was not about Pushpa.
Yeah.
It was about all the other characters as well. There were some things about Pushpa. Pushpa was there, all of it, yes, but then it also gave enough shades to all the other characters to make their roles in the film more impactful. In this one, you could feel why is this action happening? Why is this reaction happening? From where did, Shikawat just die? Why did he just die? All those things, the instigator, the propagator, all of that was there in this 20 minutes, which made it wholesome, like I said.
Pushpa as a character, he is very out of the box, beyond your imagination kind of character on paper as well. And Allu Arjun's performance is really, really good. But the way they have built up the plot points in the part 1 is mostly towards leading to a vulnerable side of Pushpa in the second installment. So we were expecting a little more vulnerable side of him. There are glimpses of it in the pre-interval sequence and also in the climax pieces. But we were expecting more of it because they showed us there is scope for it. But in this 20 minutes, you will actually feel in a lot of portions the vulnerability, the hook. Especially there's this one scene with Jali Reddy character who in the initial draft is not there except for that one visual in the climax.
Which didn't make sense. Now
exactly.
It does.
Now it does, and it was just one scene, and for me personally, it was one of the beautiful scenes. Everything about the dialogue, staging, characters, choices. So this is the Sukumar that we love, we want to watch. This is my third watching of the movie. So despite of me watching it for the third time, 3 hours 50 minutes, I still didn't feel bored. Right. So that is the beauty about the movie. But again, I genuinely feel like in the first draft itself, the final Rappa fight or some portions of Gangamma Talli Jatara, see, I understand the appeal, but if they could have reduced that and increased the more story part of it, that standalone 3.5, the classic version would have been a amazing version. Yeah, I am complaining a little too much, but yeah.
When you think about it from a cinephile's point of view, when you see the part 1 being very nice and then when you are waiting for part 2 and then a complete commercial star film comes up, it becomes a little underwhelming. But in contrast, when you watch this reloaded version with all the answers to why this plot is moving in that way, it's not just, jumping from one scene to another, from one situation to another, from one location to another.
Yeah.
But then there are segues given, all of that is added. It feels a lot more nice. Although I would have been a little intimidated by the runtime if they had initially just announced that this film is going to be a 3 hour, 45 minute thing. I think I would enjoy this one a lot more, and I would have enjoyed the whole experience of Pushpa 2 a lot more had I watched this the first time.
And the second thing is about how recently in one of the interviews, director Shankar, his recent release Game Changer, talking about it, he told the original cut of the movie, the draft that they had was almost close to 5 hours, and the movie its duration right now is 2 hours 30 minutes. So it's not the first time situations like this are happening where directors bring down, or the choice is sometimes why is the scene coming, and then they suddenly tell that we have a cut where there is a scene, there is a detail. So we usually get to listen to them saying it. And these are not budding directors where they have to prove themselves or there's some kind of pressure. They are established directors. So can in 2025 Sukumar, Shankar, these kind of directors, Sanjay, what do you think? Can they actually take risk and go for it?
The Shankar point, I don't really give that much merit, because if you're cutting down from 5 hours to 2.5 hours, that means you've cut down half the duration there.
Yeah.
And if you're complaining about it, I'd understand if you had to remove some important films because the film was already long, but you can't call a 2 hour 40-minute film a long film.
Correct.
Right? Sukumar's situation, I totally understand. Sukumar sir had to bring down 20 minutes out of a film which was already closing to 3 hours 30 minutes, right? That situation I understand. Although calls and all we are talking about, this scene should have been there, that scene could have been cut down and all of it. Commercially, I understand the calls, why they were taken and all of it. But Shankar, sir, not really, no.
Game Changer.
But they can take the risk, answering your question. Yes, they can take the risks because people are now going and watching films which are 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Most of the films which are 3 hours are turning out to be big hits because people understand that the duration is so long for a reason.
Correct.
So I think that call could be taken to keep the film long. Pushpa 2 being the number one example.
Take a movie like Arjun Reddy, for example, or Animal for that matter. Yes, there are entertaining mass elements, but the core of these movies are drama and the duration. I think going a step more than what Sanjay said, I think they should start taking things seriously because audience want to watch more of the characters. Yes, we like getting entertained in theaters, but yes, we want to watch more of the story, drama, characters. We get attached to the characters and if done right. And with Game Changer, we didn't get to talk about that after the movie release. So 5 hours, totally not cool. When I saw that interview itself, first of all, there is producers' money. Imagine if 5 hours, you've released 2.5 hours. So there's another 2.5 hours. Almost the budget is 400, 200. You've shot so much. And also in Game Changer, there are a lot of commercial action scenes which are stretching way too much. Some amount of story they could have added. Again, I'm telling you, it could have made the experience a little better. But still, it's an underwhelming product. But again, I don't think any producer should get to a situation where, director is making a 5 hour cut and only 2.5 hours is getting out.
Also talking about Pushpa and...
In terms of drama, it is, yes.
It's the same.
Same movie.
Mass commercial, it's the same. Doesn't have a lot of difference.
Yes.
But then you'll feel a little more like you can understand many other things. With this, you won't complain about Fahadh Faasil also as much, which is another good thing.
I think I will still...
You just got to see him a little more, so I think I'm settling for that.
Yeah, so this is our opinion about Pushpa 2 Reloaded. What do you think about our opinions about the first draft and second draft? Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you have a different opinion, I know you guys are you're amazing, but please continue to do that. Mention it in your comments below. The detailed it is, the better it is because we read all comments and also if we find something interesting, we also, continue the conversation there. So please continue to do that. For more such videos, please like, share and subscribe.
Also, if we have missed out on some film, reviewing some film that you would like to listen from us,
Correct.
what our opinion is about the film, do mention those names in the comments below as well. We will get to that film too. We I will not bore you with the reasons as to why we choose some films and skip some films. But if you feel like you want to listen to our review of a certain film, do mention that in the comments below as well.
So yes, with that, this is Maruti Acharya
And I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
and you're watching India Today.